You have one life purpose, and that is to become your authentic self. And what does that mean? It means the person you were born to be, the person you were meant to become in this life, because we all have that. There's no person born who doesn't have it. The only problem we have is how do we get there? How do we figure out who we are? How do we find our right career? How can we love ourselves? Because we know that's what we're supposed to do, but we're not living that. And then how can we make changes in our world because we're looking at things and we're not understanding what's going on? And the way that we do that is by living our life purpose. And our life purpose is becoming our authentic selves. But we come into the world with other programming that tells us we should be someone else, or we start comparing ourselves to others, whatever it might be. We all do that because we come in broken, as I've said many times. We don't come in fully formed beings. We have to do that, and we do that with our consciousness. And it's always our consciousness. No one does it any differently. It just means how you go about achieving that. Mine was very different. I received information that allowed me to completely heal, transform my life, and then I can give it to others. That's also what we're supposed to do. When we discover something, we have to give it to others because that's how the world evolves. But right now, we're not all doing that because the world isn't evolving in the way that we think it should. This is why we're still having wars. This is why we're still having hatred and division and anger, because we're still operating from old energies, the old paradigm, let's say, and we're trying to move into a new one. When I was told that I was given information that would help us all move through this period a lot easier and we would create different lives and create a different world, I found that really challenging to believe, even though I had healed everything in my life and transformed everything from this work, because again, it's all mindset. But believing that for all of us is really challenging. How could I be that powerful? How could I make this difference? How could I bring something new into the world? And then you have to stop and think, well, who's supposed to do it? Who else if not you? It's something that is within each of us. But what we do is we give our information to others, and that's what I've done. When I first started talking about my program in 2021, people said that's not possible. And especially for what I was offering it for them, they say, you can't change your life, you can't transform, you can't do all of that. I said, but I've done it in my life. Why wouldn't you be able to do it? Because I'm giving you the information that could cause that to happen. Now, it's been 2 years now. So people will look at that work now and see the results of individuals who have done this, which they didn't believe they could do it either. And so I just want to talk about this because we're at a place in our world where we need a lot more love. And the only way that can happen is if you decide to love who you are. That means accepting every aspect of your life, all the stuff you thought you did wrong, or you screwed up, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's only what you decide to do today. And there's a message. This is the 16th of November, and tomorrow's the 17th. And so I looked ahead and see, well, what was I given in 2012? Many of you might know I was given all this information there. And I looked at it, and it says, okay, we're going to make some lemonade now. And let me show you what that means, because it is a shift in our consciousness that we can all do. And the more of us who do that, we start to put a different type of energy into our world. And this message just said, throughout your physical life experience, you are always seeking to take lemons and turn them into lemonade. While that popular saying may appear to you at first to be somewhat trite, it actually holds the key to this expansion you sought to experience. All events and situations hold duality or contrast. And when you are able to find the part of that equation that equals lemonade for you, expansion occurs. You can think of it in terms of good and bad if that helps your understanding. However, all of it is always good when you seek to find it. When you think you have made some bad choice or decision, there is always a gift to be found there. And I can answer that really emphatically because I made so many bad choices, so many mistakes, so many failures, and all of them have turned into a work now that can cause other people not to do that, can help them transcend all of that, because that's what we're all supposed to do. when we become willing to own our authentic selves. And for me, that took a long time because it didn't make sense what I was doing all my entire life. And how could I be 73 now and almost died many, many times and healed every illness and done all of that? It's all mindset. It's mind body work. It's all of that. And we're going to really want that in our world now because we create our world collectively and it's all energetic. And the more of us who decide that we're going to let go of the fear of ourselves, the fear of others, and start to love who we are and love others. Conversely, that's what happens because we're trying to get to a place of oneness. That takes a while. But if we start to do it now, we have something very different. So what I'm doing is I'm continuing on. I put something on my Linktree. I'll put a link in the chat here too, in the description of the video, because it was something that was channeled a year ago that explained what your life operating instructions is and what my life is about and what the work is I'm doing now, owning my authentic self as being the mystic and sage that brought in this work, because I want people to connect to their soul mission, because everyone has it. And when you operate in that way, you're operating from a higher dimension. You're not burning down the world. You're adding something new. And plus, you become happy, at peace with yourself, and in love with who you are. That is my goal.